we're doing Halloween. We're there, and I doze off. We've already done hand-to-hand combat, some firearm stuff, had a couple of drinks, and I'm charging my phone in my truck. It's really cold, so I kind of doze off. I wake up to pounding on my window. Pale horse, you got to get up. You got to see this. You got to see this. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, man, remember us talking about a sacrifice and the goat? I'm like, yeah. And they go, we got the goat. So I get out, and there's this ram in the back of one of the members' trucks. They had gone not far away to a house that had 3 rams, and they all dressed up. And I'll paint the picture for you because the clothing, the camouflage pattern that the base wore was Flecktarn, because Flecktarn pattern is German. Again, Heil Hitler kind of stuff. So they went where balaclavas cover everything up. They hop fences, steal this ram, and bring it back to the farm in Rome, Georgia. So I wake up, and I walk out there, and this thing's crapping all over the bed of the truck. And one of the members, pretty big fella, he says, man, this thing's shitting everywhere. And I said, well, hell, I would be too if I just got kidnapped by a bunch of dudes in Flecktarn and balaclavas, you know. So now we're kind of preparing, and I'm thinking, man, are we really going to do this? And I walked over to the guy, he went by Eisen, and he was going to be leading the blot. And Eisen says, I go over to him and I go, man, is it bad that I feel sorry for the goat? And he says, you can't let the goat hear you say that. And I'm like, okay, do tell. And he's like, he goes, this is a sacrifice to Odin. This is a beautiful sacrifice. We love this ram. We love this goat, whatever the hell it was. We love it, and we're showing it love, and it is being blessed to go to Valhalla and meet Odin. So the rule was, everybody leave your weapons, and we're going to go down to the holy spot and deep in the woods. 100-acre farm, by the way. And we're walking down there, and the goat's just making all kinds of racket. And we get down, I'm sorry, let me rewind just a little bit. I'm trying to figure out in my head, should I do this or should I just blow the case right now? And I'm thinking, well, they said they took the goat. Okay, so that's theft of an animal. That's not federal. I'm like trying to go through my head. So I go to my truck and I lean into one of my devices and I'm like, hey, if y'all can hear me, because when I was out in the field, I'm covered. So for that 4-day hate camp, they were covering me 24/7, running shifts. They being law enforcement. And I go, hey, if y'all can hear me, I'm pretty sure we're getting ready to go down here and sacrifice this animal. And I'm running it through my brain, and I know they said they stole it, but I can't come up with a good enough reason to stop this right now. If you guys don't want me to do this, you got to send me a sign and let me know. And I waited, and it was crickets. And then I said, okay, I guess I'm going down to the woods. So we go down there. You had your chance. I was waiting.
Oh, my God.
So we go down to the woods, and we get there, and I don't know how. I ended up at the back of the goat. We're in a circle around the goat, and I'm at the back of it. And Eisen, who's leading the blot, is talking about we're going to be starting the wild hunt. In Norse mythology, the wild hunt is basically Odin and a bunch of other gods going out in the middle of the night and whipping the crap out of every other god that they didn't like or whatever. In the twisted version of the base, starting the wild hunt was going to start with the sacrifice of this goat, which he named Gar. His middle name was Garfield, named after his grandfather. To show love to the goat, he named it Gar after his grandfather. Okay. So he says once we do the sacrifice and it goes to Valhalla, that the wild hunt will start, but the wild hunt was going to be cleansing the world of non-whites.
So the goat was the start of this whole
wild hunt. The wild hunt. It's in Norse mythology. It's called the wild hunt. But again, they're twisting it for white supremacy beliefs. So he's got this like machete type object, and I'm at the back of the goat, and he's going through it. He does his Odin prayer, and he didn't lead the blot near as good as the actual Asatru priest that did it before, but he's trying, and he's going back with this. He's going back with this machete, and I'm holding the back of the goat, and somebody's holding the front of the goat, and he's coming down. He's practicing, and he's a pretty stocky kid. And finally, somebody says, "Just do it." Man, he rears back with all of his strength and comes down, whack, right on the back of the neck of the goat. I don't even know if it broke a hair, Joe. I don't know if it's because the back strap of the goat was so thick or the blade was dull, but when he hit it, all you heard was bah. And for that split second, I'm holding the back of the goat, and I go, oh man, I just saw blood. I just pictured something bad happening. And then somebody says, "Has anybody got a gun?" Do you hear? Do it again. Do it again. It might take 2 swings. And you hear, "Has anybody got a gun?" Well, I told you we weren't supposed to bring any weapons down. Well, this one cat, who was probably the least qualified person to be carrying a firearm anywhere within miles of us, said, "Yeah, I got mine." And we were like, "What are you doing with your gun?" So TMB takes the gun, hands it to Eisen. Eisen, we're still all on our knees in a circle around the goat for this sacrifice. Eisen points the gun at the goat's head, and then turns the opposite way.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's when the instructor in me comes out. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. He's like, what? I go, look at what you're shooting at, man. We're all in a circle. What the hell are you doing? So then he chambers around and gets up close. Pow. Even on the recording, you can hear the goat hit the ground. Well, sitting there twitching. It's been like 2-3 minutes. It's still twitching. And I'm like, hey, why don't you go put another bullet in the ram? He's like, oh, I think it's dead. And I go, I'm just saying, for the love of the goat and it being happy in Valhalla, let's give it a good, clean kill. I'm trying to use this logic against him. And he puts another one in it, and then somebody says, yeah, it's definitely dead. So you think it's over. No, it's not over. Now they slice the goat's throat and fill a cup with all of its blood. And one of the guys had brought a sheet of acid. Eisen had brought a sheet of acid.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, right? It's supposed to help with the shaman, which is kind of entering the spirit world during your blot. You're going to get high. And I'm shining the light because it's pitch dark. We're in the middle of the woods. And I'm shining the light for Eisen. He's going around. And what's happening is he's tearing off a tab. Not everybody did it. Of course, I didn't do it. But he tears off a tab, puts it under tongue. Some people have never even done it before. And then you chase it down with the blood of the goat.
Oh, boy.
Part of the sacrifice. So he gets around. Some people do it. Most people do it. A couple of us didn't. And then it gets to me. And I'm looking at the cup full of blood. And by this time, it's coagulating. It's all clotty. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, man, I do not want to turn that up. I really don't want to turn it up. And I think it was pestilence that gave me an out. He said, man, you can just taste it. So I stuck my finger all the way down in the blood, pulled it out, sucked all the blood off my finger. And that was my way of dealing with the sacrifice. Not exactly Fear Factor stuff. But I would have been good on that show except for the gross stuff. But